Hi, my name is Sunni Brown Wilkinson, and I wanted to read 3 poems to you. But first, I wanted to thank Kate Peterson for setting it up so that we could still do a virtual literary event, even though Get Lit got canceled. And I'm glad that we can still share our work with each other in this format. So, my 3 poems, the first one comes from my book that just came out with Black Lawrence Press last year. It's called The Marriage of the Moon in the Field. And this poem is called Tiger, Hyena, Still at Large. And it comes from a headline. In the aftermath of the flood that freed the zoo animals in a city as big as Detroit, on the other side of the world, the gates clattered and the mud bloomed. Men led a tranquilized hippo down the street and reached for monkeys in front yard trees like college buddies rounding up the gang when everyone's had one too many. When the prophets cry, "The Lord is coming," I see the hippo and the men with their hands on his back walking out of the waters, and all the lost souls floating at the gates of the zoo, and the keepers reckoning only 2 missing. While the pair of shadows stalking streets at night or crouching in alleys for weeks torment the city. And all that time, the living locked at home, eating their last bread and the news. The tiger and hyena, wild with delight, blood on their lips, apocalyptic grins. My other 2 poems are more recent. This one was recently published in the Adirondack Review. It's called Monk Parakeet, and there's a brief epigraph. We wake up to different birds than at home. My friend Diana describing her travels on the back of a postcard. After sauntering down Bourbon Street, after beignets at Café du Monde, fiddlers in the French Quarter sawing Irish music into the air, second-line parades with top hats and white umbrellas, trumpets oogling behind them, art galleries, po' boys and live jazz in the courtyard, a man singing "Sunny One So True, I Love You," pretending it was for me, after dueling pianos at Pat O'Brien's and the drunk man slapping his wife's bare shoulder to the rhythm, the way he looked at her like he wanted to peel off her tank top the way you peel off wallpaper. After sailors on balconies swaying, crackerjack bright against the dusk, after casinos and crawdads, after sun and fog and the smell of urine rising. My favorite moment of New Orleans was the morning a tiny but boisterous bird chirped his heart out over traffic lights while I was waiting to cross. Spring and time for his solo. Riffing the news over Julia and magazine streets, he was greener than green beads, louder than Charlie Parker. Later, I learn he's one of thousands. A budgie from Australia stormed in hurricane hard since the 60s and refusing to leave, nesting in the city's palm trees. Wild heart, king of spades, open your emerald throat again. And this last one is, it was recently published by the New Ohio Review, and it actually won their NORward Poetry Prize. It's called Rodeo. Tonight is a rodeo night. The announcer blaring his bull and clown doctrine so loud it carries 2 miles east to our block, where just now a hummingbird hawk moth drinks from the pink phlox with its long wand. And I'm alone for a moment, and the sky is bleeding itself out over the train tracks and the brick abandoned factories. The lights of the carpet store by the mall flicker carpe, and I wonder just what I can seize. The homeless shelter bearing some saint's name fills up every night and spills downtown next morning. Wings of strange creatures brush our flowers while we sleep, and a hapless moose wanders a schoolyard before it's caught, tranquilized. Everyone's looking for it. A warmth, a softness in the belly, in a bed of grass. Take it when you can. Seize it. Lately, sleep is a myth, and my brain is so hardwired for worry, my whole body crackles. Then a deep fog rolls in, and all day I'm lost. Unlike this moth, greedy in its guzzling, drinking sweetness without asking, and now the buzzer of the bull riding sounds. I think of the grace of that single man, one hand on the saddle and the other a flag waving violently above him, a wild show of surrender. Some days it's like this, one part anchored while the other begs for mercy, and some days it's the other, the posture he begins with, both hands together, holding tight. Sometimes you hold your own hand. That's all there is to take. Thank you.